Hello and welcome back. I am Reverend Dr. Lori Williams, and today I want to share with you the 3 steps that you can take to completely heal and transform your life. Now, if you have ever asked yourself the question of like, how do I heal? Where do I even start? What do I need to do? These 3 steps will take you from where you are to where you want to go. That being said, it should not be rushed. None of these should be rushed. You need to go through and process and heal them as all of these steps as you go. Each step is healing and releasing in itself. There's actually a step. This is the second step of is healing and releasing, learning to feel things and let things go. So that being said, let's get started. So the first one is practicing forgiveness. Especially when you're looking at your traumas, it's going to come down to forgiveness. That's going to be the catalyst that helps you to move from victim mentality into being your healed version of yourself, is forgiveness. A lot of the times we forget that the person that we need to forgive the most is actually ourselves. So unfortunately, we tend to try to forgive everyone else without forgiving ourselves. This is forgiving yourself for maybe being a people pleaser, maybe for being like the fixer, for being allowing people to use you as a doormat, for staying too long in relationships that you clearly knew were over. Whatever it is you need to forgive yourself for, you need to start going through that process. Lists are going to be your best friend through all of this, because even with my clients that work with me privately to help take them through these steps, we always write down a list of where they are, so we have a starting point. And it's really good to let you know like how far you've come as well. So the second step is to learn to feel and release. So the reason that you have traumas, yes, it's because of the physical act of whatever it was that happened to you, but what you're holding on to is the emotional part of that, is how that experience made you feel. So feeling these emotions, this is a very, very, very important step, but also one that I very highly encourage people to not go through alone, because essentially it could literally, have the ability to make you like completely derail you as well. So I would definitely encourage you to do this with someone like myself, or someone that you definitely can trust in being able to walk you through that space in a healthy and a safe way. You don't want to drive yourself mad through this. That's not the point of healing, is not to drive yourself crazy. So you want to make sure that you're healing, or you're feeling and releasing in a healthy way. You want to heal or feel everything, because keeping in mind that suppressing your emotions is what has got you to this point. So if you're watching this video, you have suppressed your emotions, and that's what you need to heal from, is the suppression. The only way to do that is to feel them. The third, and this is probably the most impactful, is to learn to tell a different story. And now this story, so the story is going to be different because so many people get stuck in what happened to them, and that allows them to stay in the victim mentality. It's like, oh, this person did this to me, or oh, I went through this. Especially on social media, you see it all day long. It's like, oh, this happened to me and I prevailed. That's not as empowering as they think it is. It's actually very disempowering, because you're still stuck in that old story. What if it's, I am, I am courageous, not because of what happened to me, but because I'm courageous, because I choose to be courageous. It's a matter of changing the story to be moving you forward, not to keep you stuck in the past. Now, unfortunately, this, for me personally, this is why modern therapy did not help me. And this is why, I'm one of those people that got kind of like left in the cracks, so to speak, because in modern therapy, they just want to, like drudge it all up. And then they may give you coping mechanisms. Back in my day when I was doing therapy, they did not even have coping mechanisms. But I know in today's day and age, they do have coping mechanisms. But coping and healing is not the same thing. Coping is learning to live with it. Healing is learning to let it go, and learning to not let it affect you in that same way, shape, or form. So all of that being said, If you're going to keep telling yourself the same story of, oh, this happened to me and now I'm this, or if this happened to me and now I'm this, it's like, I can't trust people because this happened to me. Or you need to start telling yourself a different story, one that is not attached to your past. It needs to be a forward momentum. It doesn't mean that your story did not happen. It does not mean that your traumas did not happen. When you can get to a point where you can stop talking about your traumas, that is when the real healing, the real like deep self-healing is taking place. I have many traumas, and if you have been following me for any amount of time, you know exactly what my traumas are, but you obviously, you also have not heard me talk about them in a long time. And I might bring them up just in conversation if I'm talking about something specific that pertains to them, but it's not in a way that it's not in a way that's victimizing me. It's not in a way that's making it sound that, you know, I'm stuck in that past. The more you hold on to it, the more you're in your brain, you're recreating that energy, you're recreating that space. And it's almost like you're reliving it based on the thoughts that you're thinking. If you're talking about your past, if you're talking about your traumas, you're forcing your brain to relive that trauma. You owe it to yourself to stop doing that, because the person that caused the trauma, they're probably not even thinking about you anymore. That's the sad truth. You have thought way more about them and what they have done to you than what they have ever thought of you. I can guarantee you that, because people that are willing to hurt people, knowing that they're hurting people, those kinds of people don't typically have much of a conscience, if any. So why keep giving them the power? Why keep giving them the energy of focusing on what they did to you? This is not about giving your power away. It's about learning to take your power back. And that's what I teach, is empowerment, not giving your power away, not staying stuck. And unfortunately, the society that we live in encourages you to stay stuck. I want to encourage you to move forward. And to do that, you have to have a story that resembles you moving forward. It has nothing to do, like I said before, with saying that the past never happened. You're not denying the past. You're just no longer allowing it to have any form of control over you. And that's how you take your power back. If you have any questions about these 3 steps or any of the work that I do, you can reach out to me, or you can even comment on this video, and I will return all messages. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you back here next time.